Hello Chateau family, and welcome to another great episode of Chateau Live. Now today's episode I was thinking about, and I'm really pleased that last episode uplifted all of you, and I thought I'd make another really positive one for you guys in the new, unknown and challenging year or new life that we currently have. I thought we look at what we have and find the new beauty in it. So foraging season is upon us, and well, that's the new something to look forward to, I guess. So I know we are, I guess, restricted in where we can go, how long we can go, who we can see, etc. So why not look around what we have and appreciate the beauty that we have? So come with me for a bit of foraging and I'll show you exactly what we have and a much asked for kitchen update. So this is the vlog about everything that we have here growing naturally, and an update about the kitchen garden update that we did back in the summertime. So come with me. So in the back garden where we hold all the events, we have these beautiful but deadly mushrooms growing everywhere. They are just so beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful, but they are deadly, and just because we don't eat them or can't eat them doesn't mean that nature doesn't. And I do believe, but don't quote me on this, but deer eat them. So there's a lot of wildlife, maybe foxes eat them or whatever, so do leave them around. They're beautiful to look at, certainly to admire, photograph, but definitely don't eat those ones. I've just spotted something. I've got some Walnut mushrooms trying to grow through the bridge or the pontoon. Look at that. These are really, really yummy and edible. I'll definitely be collecting them. The Walnut mushrooms are well known for growing around the white birch trees. So this is a really good sign. When you look out for those trees, you might find some if you're lucky. So that'll be really, really cool. They're big mushrooms and there's plenty to eat in them. So that'll last you probably all winter if you find any. The best thing about Walnut mushrooms is that creatures such as worms don't really like to eat them. So you might see some scarring externally, but you won't find any maggots or worms inside. So I love that fact about them. Here's a few others growing here. These are also sadly not edible, but there's so many of them. God, I really wish they were edible. But hey, something eats those. Now I love mushroom picking because mushrooms regrow within 2 to 3 days. So there's plenty of mushroom picking for everyone. And now I'm going to go to the kitchen garden area where the gardener's cottage is located. But before I go there, you might remember these steps that I cleared in summertime and that wall. So it's looking great. There's a lot of leaves. What I planted here are these spiky flowers all along the steps, and on the other side I decided to test out and plant some lobelias, some lovely lobelias. They do tend to go crazy, which is great, what we need in these cracks. And generally over here amongst the weeds, but it's all very green, is these type of succulents. They are ground covers and they have the most shiniest and glossiest of leaves. They are very, very drought tolerant, and they have the beautiful fuchsia colored flowers which open up daytime and close at night. So they are all along this. Okay, this next clip is going to be a bit disappointing because our gardener's cottage got a little bit left behind, and so weeds started to grow because we were getting on with other projects. So don't be shocked. I think it's just the visual appearance, but otherwise it's in much better condition obviously than before. Here's the gardener's cottage. It all got slightly overgrown by the stinging nettle that we have here. It's pretty easy to pull it out, but yes, there's lots of it. And look, this is my sun lounger covered in it. Fun fact about stinging nettle is that yes, it's a weed, but if you are weeding and you want to make it fun, if you pick the leaves and cook them or freeze them for later cooking, you can make a pretty nice soup or something like that out of them. They have a lot of iron like spinach, so they are full of nutrients, so they are really, really great weed to have, which is, you know, free and full of vitamins which we need in winter. So, you know, it's not necessarily all a negative, to be honest. And I have plenty of them around here to pick if I wanted to have winter's supply of vitamins. So the gardener's cottage does look a bit overrun with the weeds of stinging nettles, but the good news is that the stinging nettle provide a lot of fertilizer for the soil. So the soil is really, really fertile here for the kitchen garden, which is great. Two is that the gardener's cottage walls have all dried up this summertime because Phil removed the ivy off the walls. So that's a really great progress, which hasn't been done for many, many years. So this is a great bonus point for the kitchen garden cottage. Now, our greenhouse has been destroyed by some unhealthy branches falling on top of it and just generally getting battered. So we'll need to repair that. There's a lot of aircon holes going on in this greenhouse, so we'll need to replace that before winter arrives. So I'll be ordering that. And as you can see, the work hasn't really finished because this is just an example of the many branches which are really unhealthy and dangerous that are falling or waiting to fall on the greenhouse area. So we'll need to get on with that. Okay, so we're now inside the ruined greenhouse, and I just wanted to show you a few of the things that I have growing here, and I still have some things alive. So here I have some pink lady apple seeds that have sprung up from a supermarket shop, which is great. I've got some flowers here which I've made cuttings. I'm going to plant them out, but I'm not sure if they'll survive the winter. They don't usually, but we'll see how they'll do in this climate. I've never grown them, but I think they'll be beautiful underneath the trees and really provide the power color that this place needs. So this is a test that I have done. Now I've taken a lot of cuttings of hydrangeas, and that's how I do this. And you see I've got new leaves sprung up, which is great. So I'll need to plant them. This is just an empty seed tray. This is my pansy seeds. So that they've taken off, which is great. I've planted quite a bit everywhere. And here's some more different colors of hydrangeas here. I've got some other exotic flowers which I need planting out. And this, although it looks like the same as everywhere, this is actually a fuchsia plant, and there's quite a few I've planted and they have taken root. So this is quite large. This is about 2 feet tall. So I need to plant this by the bank because this is where we want the color for next year to be. Now over here I have some I don't know, random broccoli that has survived. I'm not sure what will happen with them as it's not too sunny or warm anymore. I had quite a lot of lettuce here, but I've obviously eaten all of them. And these are my beautiful and wonderful Asian pear trees that I have growing out of seeds. So I look forward to when those start producing fruit, but I do need to plant them somewhere. So that's all that side of the greenhouse. Now on this side, over on this side, I had cherry tomatoes, plum tomato, all sorts of different Italian tomatoes, and they all perished. So yeah, it's just devastation. So what did I learn on this year's kitchen garden quest? produce and plant flower seeds for sure, maybe fruit trees for sure. Lettuce I'll be doing definitely. It takes 30 days to grow. Tomatoes, never again. Just too much of a risk of fungus getting to them and too much high maintenance staking them and making sure that they're up. Potatoes, yeah, why not, just chuck them in. And definitely rhubarb is obviously there growing. I think I'll try some corn next year, maize, that'll be so cool. But yeah, we need a lot of flowers, so I'm ready. I just need to relocate this greenhouse to a better location, get a better cover for it, which is stronger and it's going to hold up, and obviously make it secure, and work on the land a bit more through the winter as the weeds have died down or dying down. So it's going to be really, really easy to clear, so that'll help. And next year we just have to be on top of it, so work better and work smarter. And here's an extra kitchen garden area that we have created. Now, Phil worked on improving this and creating this in summertime, so I'll share the clip with you, but we never managed to put that into a video. So here it goes, guys.
So I'm up at the kitchen garden, and Angelina needs some more space for various things which have sprung up and are time to give them more space. So I've got to make some more plots, and it's not the easiest thing in the world because, as you've seen from the state of the place, none of the machinery is working. So I am chucking things together with hopes and dreams. I'm going to be using our very old push mower here to just get an area clear, and then I'm going to use the scarifying attachment on the other mower to try to clear the surface before I dig it over, as I want to do as little work as physically possible for the best results. So let's see how it goes. If you've watched anything with the Swan House repair, we were clearing the bank and we were using this old mower, which has got a scarifying attachment on the blades instead. We were using that to clear the ivy and the bits and pieces on the bank, and it worked quite well. So we're going to use it up here to try to decimate the floor. It's not what it's for, but if we lower it down enough, it'll do a great job. And that should just clear this and make it all a little bit quicker, rather than trying to dig over everything by hand from scratch. So I use the scarifying attachment to try to break up the surface of the ground a bit, but it's really, really, really hard up here because it gets so much sunlight. So we borrowed my friend's rotavator, and I've done a few passes, and I'm just going to do the last one just before it goes back.
I managed to plant some rhubarb here that I got given by a friend. I think it's time to collect them for sure. And I hope they're really, really sweet so I can make some cakes. And so this is my rhubarb haul. Look at all of that. That's so much. That's great. I love rhubarb. And here's what else we had in summer.
I'm excavating potatoes. Excavating isn't the right word, but yeah. Look. Potato.
Put it down there. Look, there's lots of them. Go on, find more, find more. Here,
there's a potato. There's another potato.
This is so much fun. It's like treasure in a bucket. And these were just from potatoes that were overgrowing in our potato bag that we purchased from a supermarket.
Yeah, okay, put them in a bag.
I will do. This is the amount we managed to get. That's not bad, is it? I can't wait to try them.
It's not going to survive us through the winter, is it?
No, it's not, but it's cool though, isn't it?
It's fun, hon, yes.
And these are the two garden areas. One's here and one is way overgrown. I never actually planted anything in there. What I have growing here, which has gone crazy and outside of the garden bed, is some butternut squash, and this one looks like it's ready for picking, so I'll collect this and see what others I have. And look at my butternut squash collection. It's enormous, it's incredible. Out of one plant I have so many, and I've even left some to ripen. I'll come and check on them in a week's time when I come to clear it. Incredible. I also have these flowers growing here. They're beautiful orange color, and it is said to add spiciness to food as well as the leaves. So I think I'll pick this, cut it up and freeze it so I can cook with it. And I have lots of it here. Okay, between rhubarb from the kitchen garden, the butternut squash, and this, I think I'm gonna need a lot more fridge freezer space than I currently have. I think we're gonna have a problem. And we also have a walnut tree growing on this side of the house where Phil usually works near his garage, and it produces lots of walnuts, and it's usually a race and a fight over the walnuts itself with the squirrels, but there's plenty to go around because there's lots of acorns and hazelnuts around here as well for them. And so here is what the walnut tree looks like. It's rather large, huge canopy usually, and big leaves. This is the huge leaves that it produces. As you can see, in comparison to the walnuts, the leaves are huge. And that's what the walnut husk looks like. And now I'm just going to pick them off the ground to collect and see how many I can get. Okay, and so here is my walnut collection so far. That's quite a lot. I'll be able to make a lot of coffee and walnut cake, which is my favorite. Okay, and now we're gonna go for a walk with Lightning for some more foraging along this long driveway. There is a few other surprises that I always find along the way. And now we're nearing the end of a very long driveway here. I just wanted to show you something else that we have, and that is always causing a problem here. Is this. This, believe it or not, in the middle is a branch that fell off the tree on the right. That is the same size as the tree. Where are you going, little pups? This is a very long lead. This is a car park, and this is a supermarket that used to be here. Used to be active a few years ago, but it's also a sad reminder of today's world that many businesses will be closed as well. And in this abandoned old supermarket that's been closed for years, it just shows that nature will grow and thrive anywhere, including the most unexpected of nature. Tomatoes right here, and they are growing on a blockade of gravel so that no car can enter this car park. Look, some of them are actually ripe, and they didn't catch any of that disease. How cool is that? Awesome. This one is called poultry puffball. And this mushroom here looks like a leopard hiding in the grass. And here's more mushrooms. These are massive. Let me just show you how big they are. Look, this is my hand. This is enormous. It's not very pretty looking, but that's the shape of them. And these are very nice. So I'm back now, and look at all the things I managed to collect. There's lots of conquerors and some tomatoes as well. These huge mushrooms, that was the last thing I collected. And then there's lots of these chicken puffballs, and then tons and tons of these. Now I've eaten these many times, so I know they're safe. And I've tried a puffball before, but not the chicken one. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's really, really squidgy, spongy like. And I've never actually cooked these, like roasted them in the open fire. So that should be fun and cozy, Christmassy like. It's great. Why not? All of this foraging, that's a lot. Look at that. And it was fun. Okay, so this is everything that I've managed to collect today within literally a short distance from the house. Stuff that I've obviously grown, or stuff that I literally just foraged because it's season, and some were just quite actually surprising. So I have a lot to do, to chop up, freeze and stuff like that, and to cook. So I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot of variety of things that I can create. But this was just an insight of what's around us that we don't necessarily pay attention to. If you want to get involved in foraging, especially mushrooms, because like I say, they grow every 2 to 3 days and there's a huge abundance in them, and it's so much fun. I use 2 apps. One is a Plant Snap, which I find okay for mushrooms specifically, but it's great for other plants as well. If you've got flowers you want to identify, etc., it's great. And the best app that I find for me is Picture Mushroom. It's a really, really great app. And if I'm still unsure, I'll go to the internet and research a little bit further. But I kind of have 3 of the same mushrooms here, and once you get to know your mushrooms, you will be a little bit more educated on what is safe to pick and what isn't going forward, and then you can just expand your knowledge. So I have a lot of fun doing this, to be honest. Hopefully this was a little inside view and a little happiness to you guys. Maybe if you come out of your house, your flat, wherever you are, and just try and find something that is beautiful in nature and surprising, and it's like a free gift. It's everywhere, all around us. The season is upon us where things just spring up, and why not go and explore what we have around us and have fun with it? That's the main thing. Now, thank you guys for watching for this video, and for sharing, liking, commenting, subscribing, becoming our patrons, or just simply buying us a coffee. We appreciate it so much. I know Phil's having a tough time, but I'm taking over and he's almost finished. So I hope to see him home soon. And I know your good wishes in the comments. He always reads and it makes him feel better. So until next episode, guys, stay safe and go and have fun out there, okay? And I'll see you next time. Bye.